right, so we're going to be looking at maps. Okay, now maps have certain things in them that classify them as maps. For example, they have a compass. Okay, now I've got what looks like a cross on the screen here, and then I've got from point A to point B. Don't worry about the point A to point B yet, just look at the cross. And I just wanted to put the cross there and then write the letter N. Okay, so a map of an area that covers a certain area should have a north compass arrow. Sometimes it's just one arrow pointing up to an N like that. Sometimes they'll put in all the compass points for you, but you will always get to know where north is. And if they got a map with north on it, they're likely going to ask you a direction question. Okay, so this type of direction is called straight line direction. All right, we'll talk about another direction later on, but this is straight line direction from point to point. Okay, so let's talk about the compass points in the map. All right, so everyone knows that north is always up, and then south is at the bottom, opposite north. Okay, then you just think of the word we. All right, so W is on the left and E is on the right. So think of the word we. Okay, it's west and east. All right, now the question is, what is this direction between north and east? Can anyone put in chat, what is this direction between north and east? I'm sure you guys know, especially those ones that are doing geography. There we go, good job. NE or northeast, very good. Good stuff, well done. That's it, northeast, good. So you guys know your compass points, it's very, very good. Okay, so this is northeast. And down here, whoops, we have southwest. And then I'll do another one over here that goes across. And that's going to be northwest and southeast over here. All right, so these basic directions are what you need to know for any kind of map. All right. So the question will come in the exam. What is the direction? And usually they'll say straight line direction. So the word direction, if there's a map with a compass on it, this is what they're referring to. They'll say, what is the direction from one point to another point? Okay. Now, the key here is to concentrate on the word from. All right, so this word from is where our compass is going to be. Okay, I'll just move this word from to the side, and I'm going to take my compass. So we're going to imagine that we're going to place the compass on the word from. Okay, so I could move this whole compass to the point that is from and have a look and see. Okay, so the compass goes on the from point and we're going to the other one. All right, so just remember that the word where it says from, that's where we're going from. So I'm going to draw a red line here and an arrow, and I'm going to point towards the B. So we're going from A to B. So the compass is from. So it's going to be very similar to this line here. All right, so what is the direction from A to B? And we will say northeast. Okay. So always remember that when they ask you to do direction from one point to another, the compass, the imaginary compass that you have, must be on the point you're going from. And if you can remember that, you'll always get this question right. Okay, so the key word here is which one are you going from? All right, so that's basic compass direction. Does anyone have a question on basic compass direction? I'm sure you guys know basic compass directions.
I see Gugu unmuted. Do you perhaps have a question for us, Gugu?
Gugu, you got a question for us?
No, I don't have this.
Okay. Not at this point. All right, not a problem. Okay, let's move on to the other direction. So when you see a compass on your map, often they're going to ask you a straight line compass direction question. Okay, There is another type of direction that we have on maps. Orientation direction, orientation. Now, the word orientation means where are you in relation to other objects? Okay, where are you in relation to other objects? How far are you from an object, and how do you get there? Do you see it? Is it around the corner? Where are you in relation to other objects? And can you orientate yourself from one point to another? Can you guide yourself from one point to another? Okay. So when you talk about orientation direction, this is usually on street maps. If you see a street map in the exam, they're probably going to ask you questions like, describe a route that could be taken from point A to point B. Okay, and then you have to write sentences out. All right. So when we talk about orientation direction on like on a street map, then we have to use these keywords here. Okay, now you all know these keywords. All right, we're going to run through them. So go straight. All right, so this is as if someone's asked you direction from one place to another, and you are on the side of the road and you're trying to explain to them. Okay, so you're orientating that person towards their destination. So we got go straight, we got turn right, turn left. These are all words that you can use. You can say do a U-turn, which means if you're going in one direction, you need to turn around and go back in the other direction. Go past a point. Okay. Now this is very important because often when you guys do this, you always use they go straight, turn left, turn right, but you don't use the words go past. So especially if it's a very short distance, then it's important to refer to places on the map. So how long must I go straight for? Well, you're going to go past this thing, the second thing, the third thing, and then you're going to turn right. Okay. So you might say go past a house, a landmark like a building. You might say go past the street with a certain name. You could say go past West Street, carry on going. So you're going to always reference objects around you and use the words go past. I'll show you how we do that. All right, you can say cross, all right, which means you're going to cross the road, go over the road to the other side. Okay, so from one side of the road to the other, or one side of the path to the other. You can say across from, so you can say your destination, which is the red star, is across the road from this building, specific building. You can say your destination is next to a specific place. You could say your destination is on or at the corner of two streets. Okay, or you can say when you get to the intersection, your destination is on the corner of the intersection. Okay, so you can use the words on or at the corner. Let's quickly scroll down a little bit. Oh, that's too far. Let's go up a bit. So you could also say, take the first right or take the second left. So if you're going past a lot of streets, it's important to note, don't do the first one or go past the first one or take the first one. Okay, so don't just say go straight and there's a whole lot of streets that you pass. Refer to things that you're going past as you go along. Okay. In roundabouts, if you get to a roundabout, you can say take the first exit of the roundabout, or take the second exit of the roundabout, or the third exit of the roundabout. Okay. So these are all words that you can use when describing a route from point A to B using orientation. Okay. And this is usually on street maps. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at a map. Okay, so I've got a map over here. And it says that this is a provincial map of South Africa. Now, this is not a geography lesson, but you do have to be able to understand a basic map like this. Okay, so what tells us this is a basic map? Well, we've got scale at the bottom. Okay, and on Tuesday, we learned a lot about scale. So over here is our scale. Who can tell me if they can remember what type of scale is represented here? Anyone tell me what type of scale this is? We learned about this on Tuesday. Pabala, good stuff. Bar scale. Good. Very good. Well done. So that's a bar scale or a line scale, or a linear scale, a line scale. There we go. Akil knows it as a line scale. Very good. Okay, so bar scale or line scale. Those are the two scales that we know how to work with now. Okay, because we practiced on Tuesday. All right, so this scale is for the map. And if there's a scale usually on a map, they're going to ask you questions with distance. All right. Now I haven't got a compass here, so I'm going to draw one in. So I'm going to put an arrow there, and I'm going to say straight up is north. All right. Now let's look at the side over here. So we've got this block of information. Does anyone know what you call this part of a map with the information on the side there, labels and things? Does anyone know what that is? Yes, but it is still math lit. It is a little bit of geography because maps and plans are in geography. Good, it's a key. Very good. All right, this is still math lit. Yes, it sounds like a bit of a geography lesson. Okay, so that's the key of the map. All right. Okay, so let's go into the questions. Question 1. What is the general direction from Durban to Johannesburg? Durban to Johannesburg. So we look at our key and we see that Durban is number 5 and we see that Johannesburg is number 1. Can anyone tell me what the general direction from Durban to Johannesburg is? All right, the answers are coming in very, very fast. That's fantastic. Okay, very, very good. All right. So like I said, we need to have a compass on the place that, whoopsie, on the place that we are going from. Okay, so I'm going to place a compass on the 5. All right, so this is an imaginary compass. You can do this in your head. You don't have to draw this in the exam, but you can if you want to, if it helps. All right, so there's north, and our object is up there. So I'm going to draw a line up to that object. So that is definitely northwest. Okay, so that's definitely northwest. All right, so as long as you know which one you're going from, your compass goes there. These answers will be very, very easy for you to get. Nice and easy. Okay, here's another one. What is the general direction from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth? Anyone? We got west, we got southwest. Lucky, we're just going through basic map orientation and map skills for maps and plans. Okay, so we're going from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth. Okay, now Cape Town is down here. Ayabonga, yes.
Southeast.
Southeast. Ah, now that's interesting. I've got a lot of people saying southwest, and you are saying southeast. So this is very interesting. I love it when the answers are different. All right. So we're going to Port Elizabeth, which is 7. And we've got Cape Town, which is 8. Okay. And I'm going from Cape Town. So I'm going to put my imaginary compass on the 8. And I'm going to draw a line to the 7. Just make my line a bit straighter. There we go. All right. So this is north at the top. This one to the right here is east. Okay. So all these people, they've changed now. So all the people that were saying southwest, I think your speed is good, but is the quality good? Okay, so you got to put the compass on the point that you're going from, and then draw a line to the other one and see which direction that is. Okay, so this is directly east. Okay. All right. Now let's finally get into some calculations. Okay. Sito Gozida, thank you. We'll try and remember that. I think we actually ask here to change the name.
Yeah, I'm changing it now.
Yeah, Pili, I was a bit surprised you're not getting these answers very quickly. You're a geography student. Okay, let's have a look at the question 3. Question 3 says the map measured distance in a straight line from Durban to Bloemfontein is 2 centimeters. Okay, so there's a straight line that goes from Durban, which is 5, to Bloemfontein, which is 4. That map measured. Now the key word here is map measured. What that means is you've measured it on the map with a ruler. So the map measured the ruler distance in a straight line from Durban to Bloemfontein is 2 centimeters. Determine the real distance. We learned about that on Tuesday in kilometers. Okay, now we need a scale for this. Okay, I'm going to move down a little bit and give myself some space. We need a scale. We've got a bar scale here on our map. All right, so let's have a look at this bar scale and try and make it a little bit easier. So they say here, we didn't need to, remember last time I said, sometimes they will write it on and sometimes you have to measure with the ruler. So they say here on our scale, let me make it red, that 1 centimeter represents 200 kilometers. Okay, so 1 centimeter with your ruler represents 200 kilometers. And I bet you the guys have got the answers up here already. Yeah, you see. So what is 2 centimeters? All right, so with 1 centimeter, and I'm going to put units here, gives me 200 kilometers. What will 2 centimeters be? All right, well, we just have to multiply by 2. Multiply by 2, okay? So the distance, I'll write here, the distance will equal 2 times 200, which equals 400 kilometers. Very good. Nice and easy, hey? Okay.
And
So
shout
if
out
you
to the people who have their units.
yeah, don't forget your units, okay? Otherwise, Kia's going to have to say something about that. So this scale, when it was given to us, you didn't have to measure with a ruler. They actually told us that 1 centimeter that you measure with a ruler must give you 200 kilometers in the real world. So we just take 2 centimeters and multiply by 2 to get our 400s. Are there any questions about this? If you have any questions, guys, please.
Don't hold your peace.
Yes.
Speak now.
Speak to us. Nicholas, you got a question? You all good? He's fine. Excellent. All right. Good stuff. Okay. Let me come up with another one. I'm gonna try and make this a
Challenge
little bit
them a
tricky.
bit.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too easy for them. I think I'm gonna challenge them a bit. So let's erase all of this. All right. Let's erase the colors here, and I'm going to change the question. I'm going to say them in a straight line from Durban to East London is 2,35 centimeters. Determine the real distance on the ground in meters. All right, there's the question. The map measured distance in a straight line from Durban to East London is 2,35 centimeters. Determine the real distance on the ground in meters. All right, off you go. Let's see you guys do that one. So I've changed question 3 to a new question. Oh my gosh. Akil's got an answer already. Sure, Akil, your speed is good, but is your quality good? I hope so. Chipang, do you want to talk to us? Yes. Chipang, we're just going to turn your microphone on and then you can talk to us. Just hold on a second.
I've been requesting that he unmutes for some time now.
Yeah, Chipang, there should be a little thing that comes up on your screen that says, please unmute. And then just click on that or try unmute.
Or was it perhaps a mistake?
I don't know. Chipang, you can put it in your question in the chat if you want, if you're struggling to unmute. Oh, we've got all kinds of different answers here. It's fantastic.
Starting a mathematical debate here.
It's good. We've got 506, we've got 506, 470, 470. Where are the units, guys? There we go. Keisha's got units. Kia's going to have words with you.
Yeah, no.
Janu. 0.01175 meters. That's very, very small. Okay, Chapman, don't worry. Janu, that's a very small distance, hey? I think you're working the other way around. I think you might be dividing instead of timesing. User, I've measured the distance for you. So you don't have to. So I'm telling you that the measured distance is 2,35 centimeters. So I've done that for you. In the exam, you will measure with a ruler, but I'm telling you in the question that the map measured distance is 2,35. So I've done it for you. Okay, so you just got to do the calculation. You don't have to measure anything. Sure, Pabalo, that's huge. Oh my gosh. That's a big number. All right. We've got all kinds of different numbers here. Let's have a look. Okay. So we've got a ruler measured distance of 2,35 centimeters. So we need to use our scale. All right. We want to know the real world distance. We have to use our scale to go to the real world. Okay. So 1 centimeter is to 200 kilometers. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to change from ruler measurement to real world measurement. Okay. So I've got 2,35 centimeters. All right. What do I do to that 2,35? Well, I multiplied this by 2,35 to get that. So I'm going to do the same with my 200. I'm going to multiply by 2,35. Okay. So I'm going to say 2,35 times 200. Okay. Just remember that when I do this using this scale, I should get kilometers, hey? So 2,35 times 200 gives me 470. But 470 what? This is what Kia always says. Remember your units. Okay. So you guys are getting an answer 470. Well, you're on the right track. But if you wrote the units down, you might see that, oh, hold on. I'm not done yet. Because this question wants meters and my units are in kilometers. So I still got to take this a step further. Okay. So I've got to change my kilometers now into meters because the question wants meters. So we learned this in the measurement section. If you want to go from kilometers to meters, you have to multiply by. Can anyone tell me? Anyone tell me? What do I multiply by?
Our blog said it's 1,000.
Oh, 1,000. 1,000 is correct. There are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Okay, so we have to multiply by 1,000. Good, Nicholas. All right, so 1,000. Which is why Pabalo's got this massive number. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. And we get 470,000 meters. Okay. There we go. All right, 470,000 meters. Now, some people were getting 470, and maybe you didn't realize that you had to go to meters. Okay, if you did see that you had to go to meters, yeah, Sonia, I think you divided. If you did see that you had to go to meters, and you're getting 470 meters, you got to think about that a little bit. From Durban to East London, 470 meters, not even a kilometer. That doesn't sound right. Okay, so when you look at your answer, and if you have an idea of roughly what the distance should be, then if you're getting 470 meters, it doesn't sound right. Okay, now you're not going to spend time checking your answers, but if you have time at the end of the exam, you can go over your question and look at your answer. Does this look right? It doesn't seem, something's wrong about this. All right, so you can check your answers to see if they look realistic. All right. Okay. I'm going to give one more. I'm going to give one more. I'm going to say, I'm going to go backwards. Now, we tried this on Tuesday. So I want to see who's remembered Tuesday's lesson. Okay. So what I'm going to say is the real distance in a straight line from, let's take Port Elizabeth to Kimberley. From Port Elizabeth to Kimberley is 550 kilometers. Determine the map measured distance in centimeters. Okay, let's read the question. The real distance in the real world in a straight line from Port Elizabeth to Kimberley is 550 kilometers. Determine the map measured distance in centimeters. They want to know if you take your ruler and put it between Port Elizabeth and Kimberley, what will the centimeters read? Okay, because in the real world, it's 550. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. So just get the ruler and measure it. Yes, okay, I understand. But let's use the scale to try and work this out. Okay, so we're practicing using the scale. So the real distance is 550. Tell me what that is in centimeters on my map. Okay. Yeah, everyone's getting affected by this load shedding, eh? As you can see behind me, all the lights are out. Your Pabalo's fast. Pabalo, the speed is good. I hope the quality is good. And the units is obviously centimeters there, hey? So Pabalo saying 2.75. Good speed, Pabalo. I hope the quality is good as well. We'll check it now. Let's see if you guys can get this. I can see Google Later is working hard. Tapelo is looking at the screen. Are you checking out the question? Oh, we're making them work.
Yeah, no.
I can see Google Later is working really hard there. It's great. All these brave people that put their videos on. And then the teacher can see what they're doing. All right, we got another answer. 82.5 centimeters a kill. All right, so that's 82 centimeters on the map. So between those 2 points on the map, it's 82 centimeters. Tapelo has got 2.75. Tito Cordelia got 2.75. It's got centimeters there. The answers are coming in. Sonia's also getting it. I hope you guys are doing these calculations for yourself. We're going to check it now. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so we've got 550 kilometers. Okay, we know that 1 centimeter is 200 kilometers. So what I want to know is how many 200 kilometers do I have in my 550? Because each 200 kilometers is 1 centimeter. Okay, so I'm going to take my 550 and cut it up into 200 kilometer pieces. So that's division, right? So 550 kilometers divided by 200, because each 200 in here is 1 centimeter. So how many of these 200s do I have? Well, I've got 550 divided by 200, and we get 2.75. And so it's 2.75 centimeters. Well done. Well done to everyone. Good job. Good job. There's Janu with the units. All right, good job. Well done. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next section. Looks like you guys know Yes. You want to ask something?
Quickly going to unmute you, Lihle.
There we go.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Why do we divide it to find out?
Okay, good question. All right. So let me take this bottom line away, and I'm going to bring the scale out for you here. Let's talk about this scale quickly. So this scale that we get from this bar scale here, it says 1 centimeter represents 200 kilometers. If we look at the scale, the number on the left is the map measured or ruler on my map. All right, so I'll say ruler or map ruler. The number on the right is the real world distance. Okay, now they give us 550 kilometers and they tell us it's the real distance. Okay, so that's the number on the right-hand side of our ratio. Okay, and I have 550 kilometers. They're telling me that every 200 kilometers, I'll get 1 centimeter. Okay, so what I want to do is find out in my 550, how many 200s do I have? Because each 200 kilometers out of my 550 kilometers is 1 centimeter. So how many 200s do I have? So I want to cut my 550 up into 200 kilometer blocks. Okay, so when you want to cut it up, we talk about division. Okay, so we want to, we want to divide. All right, we want to see how many 200s are in there. So it will be 550 divided by 200. Okay. And each one of these 200s here represents 1 centimeter. So how many 200s do I have? Well, the calculator says cut 550 up into 200 pieces. You got 2 and a little bit, 2 3/4 in your 550. And each one of those is a centimeter. Okay, so we're dividing here, going from real world to map. So in Tuesday lesson, we learned that if you're going from real world back to map, you need to divide. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, the 200 plummeting comes from the scale. All right, so the scale on the map over here, and I've highlighted it in yellow, says 1 centimeter represents 200 kilometers. So I've just written it out here as a ratio. 1 centimeter is 200 kilometers. All right. Okay. Now, let's have a quick look at street maps. Okay, so thanks for that question. So direction maps will have questions on direction and scale. Definitely going to get a scale question and often a direction question. And then they also give you street maps. Okay. Now, this is a street map of Pretoria. So there's a place online and you can have a look at the street map. It's huge. All right. It's a massive, massive map. There it is online. And it's got a whole lot of numbers here at the bottom, and there's numbers all over this map. All right. So I've taken a piece of the map out. And what they're going to do is they're going to ask you to give directions, pretend that you are helping someone to give directions from one point to another. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see, but we have a little trolley over here on the map. So that's obviously a shop. All right. And there's another trolley here on the map as well. Okay. There's a word here that says bank. That's for a street. We have an I here for an information center. And we have a P here like it's a police symbol. Okay. We've got these red crosses here. Those are hospitals. All right. And the key on the map will tell you all of this. I've chopped the key off. So this is what I'm telling you guys now. So the key on your map will explain all these features for you. Right. So what if they said, if you were on Struben Road, I don't know if you guys can see, but here's Struben Road. There's the word Struben. And let's say you were here on Struben Road and you needed to get down here to the police station. All right. Help this person to give them directions to help them to the police station. Okay, so we're going to give directions like turn left, turn right, go past, etc. What I want to ask you though is, what are these arrows on the streets? Do you see these arrows here? Who can tell me what they mean? There's a whole lot of arrows on these roads. What do those arrows mean? Anybody? There we go. They're not directions. There we go, Chiamo. One way. Okay, it's a one-way road. All right, which means you can't use, yes, the direction of, yes, very good. It's the direction the cars have to drive on that road. So you can't, if you want to use this road over here, you can't go up, you have to go down. You can't go north, you have to go south. Okay, so I'm going to do this one with you because it's a long sentence. Very good. It's a long sentence that you'll have to write, or a long paragraph you have to write. So I will help you guys out now. So just watch the screen and see how I do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go say, okay, continue west. All right. So pretend there's a compass in your head. North, south, west, and east. I'm going to say continue west, and I'm going to draw little red dots on Struben Street. Continue west on Struben Street. Take a left into, looks like Tabo Sehumet Street. All right. We can't go right there. We can only go left anyway. Take a left into Tabo Sehumet Street. Then take a right, and immediately take a right into, what is the street called? It's called Pose Street. Okay. Take a right into Pose Street, and it's also a one-way. Go past Paul Kruger Road. Okay, continue on west on Pose Street, then take a left into Bosman Street and go south, go past Madiba Street. You'll go past the Church Square on your left, go cross over WF and Cornwall Streets, continue south, and then turn right into Pretoria Street, and the police station will be on your left. Okay, so sometimes they ask this question in a mathematics exam where you have to give directions, and you're going to words like turn left, turn right, go straight. You can use words like west, north, south, east, and go. Always say go past. All right, so refer to things that you're going past the streets. You can say take your second left, or go past the church square, or go past the shop, to help you guide this. Don't just say turn left, then turn right, then turn left, then turn right. Okay, you need more description than that. Okay, so try and use these descriptive words that we learned to help you give those directions. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can, and save it to try and help you remember how to use the words for direction. Okay, so maybe take a screenshot of that and save it, and then just look over it when you know you're going to do some map work in your math literacy paper. Okay, are there any questions? No questions. Everyone's happy with this. All right, you guys had it easy tonight. Not many calculations. It's not like tariff tables or anything like that. Are you guys happy?
You are triggering them, Dale. You are triggering them.
I know tariff tables are bad one. I know. I feel bad when they get that question in the exam. But it keeps coming up, eh? Even in the matric paper, it keeps coming up. All right. So there's no questions. Oh. Then I think it's time to go get ice cream. It's ice cream
That
time.
sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Is there a question? No questions. All right. So everyone's happy. Okay. You feel good about this. You're happy with scale. You're happy with maps, how to orientate yourself with maps, direction, and giving directions with maps. Everyone should be okay with this now. So when you get to this section, ask me a quiz. Yes. When we get to this section in the exam, don't fret. Don't think, oh, I'm not a geography student. There's some basics here that you've been taught that will get you through. Okay. Just remember again, when you're doing direction, you always go for the point where you say from. All right. Thanks, Paul. Nice and easy one today. Nothing too hectic.